Hey, Donovan.
So, Chris.
Are you over this one yet?
No. I haven't been. Sorry. No, not at all. I haven't been asleep yet. Probably watched the game twice. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's just, you put a lot into a season. You overcome, different things throughout you accomplish different things throughout the season, and you feel like you're right there on the cusp, and then to end this way is, it's tough, and, but ultimately you can just go one of two ways. You can let it deter you from your goal, or you can find a way to let it fuel you.
You mentioned throughout the course of the season, and again last night, that judgment for this group comes during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's fair?
It's the way it is. Life ain't fair, Look, I mean, you see guys say, like, we are very blessed to be in this position and do what we do. If the criticism, if one of the pressures or the things that we have are us getting killed over this, gotta get criticized somewhere, you know what I mean? And it's just what it is. This is a blessing to be able to play this game, but you gotta take what comes with it. It was a blessing to take care of my family, but you gotta be prepared for what comes with it. I've been saying it to you all year. 64 wins is cool. We only won, 5 games in the playoffs? You know what I mean? So, we deserve it. We deserve it. We didn't hold up our end, So it's up to us to figure it out and, go from there. So, yeah.
What do you think it's going to take for you to get out of the second round?
Are you speaking to me personally or as a team here?
Personally, because it's obviously something that you have talked about in the past.
Thank
you. You want that weighs on you.
I think it's, a continuing of the work. Y'all know my work ethic. It's not about the work. It's sometimes just the moment, It's just got to be ready for it. And it's not just myself, it's everybody. This isn't easy. Winning is not easy in this league. Sometimes you have to be lucky. Sometimes you get unlucky. I think the biggest thing is I'm just not going to stop. You know what I mean? We're not going to stop. I can go, I shouldn't say this, but if I went another 10 years and I was in the same, or another 8 years, and I was in the same spot, I wouldn't stop. You know what I mean? I think that's the only way to get past it is to keep going. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to feel free to say what they want to say about us as a group, about me as a player. I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean? So, and the day I do is the day I fail myself. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to keep going. Y'all going to see me here at Media Day, smiling, being ready, giving you the same spiel about we got to respond, the same thing, because it's what it takes. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to stop. We're not going to stop, and we'll figure it out.
You talked about your 8 years in the league, and obviously you've been in this position before.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting up here, why is this different than another year?
I feel like with the way the regular season went and the way things were going, the habits, not so much the habits, I think. The way our habits were in the seat, you saw it. You saw the steps that were taken, the necessary steps that could be taken, just from in here, from the locker room. Obviously what you saw on the floor, but granted we had our mishaps throughout the season, but you saw it, and I think it hurts because it was so fast. It's just wow, it just stopped. You know what I mean? And I have no plans. You know what I mean? I have no off. I don't know what the hell I'm doing tomorrow. I don't know what the hell I'm doing next week. You know what I mean? There's no, it just was abrupt. I mean, that's what's so tough because we believe in each other. We believe that this was a year. Everybody did. Y'all all said it. Everybody's you know what I mean? So that's what sucks. But on the flip side, I said it last night, we'll be back. This is what makes people who they are. It's what makes teams who they are. When they tell that story, when they reach the pinnacle, you reflect back on these moments. You reflect back on everybody saying how we suck. Like, you know what I'm saying? You reflect on those moments when you get to the top, whenever that may be. But it sucks and it hurts because it just wasn't, you know, it just wasn't supposed to end like this. You know what I mean?
Is there any, I guess, I know it's just happened, but peace or solace in knowing that, and you said last night, that you let the fans down. But solace knowing that you left everything out there, you know, personally on the floor. I mean, you know, we could see you on the court, not during the game, but even after the game, after everybody's gone, your feet on that floor, like not wanting to leave.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, like, the picture I tweeted when I first came here, right? In the Cavs jersey, like, you know, hearing Ahmad, like, I'm people probably thought I was joking and BSing, like, you know, saying whatever because I was, like, new here. But I meant that. Like, this is an amazing place to play. Like, I've watched it on TV. I've been here during the finals game. The towels, the screaming, the music, the fire, the vibe when I'm driving in. Like, this is a special place. And all season, it felt like, man, this is what I dreamed of as a kid. Like, you know what I mean? All season it felt, even since I got here, but all season. So who am I not to try to literally die out there on the floor for the fans that, you know, put so much into us? Like, you know what I mean? It's not like that in every, I mean, we travel on the road. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like that everywhere. I've been fortunate enough to play in two places who are like that. Utah was like this as well, similar. So I think for me and for us as a group, you know, it's a special place. And I think that's what hurts is not winning any game at home, not giving fans that, you know, that excitement. You know what I mean? It's great to win a game on the road. It's great to win a game on the road and shut the crowd up. But, like, these fans, man, they put a lot into us. We put a lot into them, obviously. And we're going to find a way. We are. Like, you know, but for me personally, like I said, this is, you know, a special place, special group, special people. And we're going to find a way. I mean, I know it's been 8 years, but, like, we're going to find a way.
Use the word, I'm sorry. Can you give us some insight into what you were dealing with physically?
Yeah, I mean, it came out, I didn't want it to come out, but it came out that I had the calf strain. I tried to keep that as quiet as I could. Then the ligaments in the ankle, but like I said just now, like, you don't have to knock me out before I don't go out there. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's going through something. This isn't just like a Donovan, like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? I get I'm over there. Like, I get it. But DG was hurt. Ed was hurt. Dre was hurt. You know, guys on the other team are hurt. Like, it's the playoffs. Everybody's going through something. It's just a matter of, you know, will at that point on a continuous basis. And not to say we don't have that as a group. We do. But for me, that's what it was. And, you know, it sucks that I stepped on dude's foot at the end of the season. Like, you know what I mean? It's a freak accident. You know what I mean? What can you do? Like, you know what I mean? So
it's commendable, and I want to preface it the right way. I want you to take it the right way. You had historic numbers, and it's commendable you're putting your body on the line, especially with what you're going through. But in a season where there's a huge effort on your end to empower others and, you know, promote their growth, when you evaluate this series, do you feel like you maybe put too much on your shoulders, or was it appropriate? And I understand the injuries of teammates that were probably in your mind too.
Yeah, I mean, I think in situations like this, it's tough. It's easy to say, you know, oh, you know, this, that, and the fifth, but, like, you know, guys aren't going to tell y'all what they're going through, but guys are going through stuff, you know, understanding that, hey, you know, such and such may not have it the same way they had it during the games where we were, you know, so sometimes it may be, hey, it may be 3 extra shots for me because it may be 3 extra drives to the paint. It may be, you know, different things. It's not like oh, I'm just gonna abandon what we've been doing. You know, there's reasons. Like, you know what I mean? There's reasons. And, you know, for me, as my job, and I tell you all the time, like, some days it's a step back. Miami series, it wasn't necessarily all this. You know what I mean? So it's just reading. That's my job as a leader. Not everybody's going to understand that. I think that's, you know, it's my job. It's what I get paid to do. So, yeah, I think it's one of those things you kind of have to read the situation, you know what I'm saying, and understand. And I love the hell out of my guys for continuing to fight just like I'm fighting, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Danny?
In order for the result next postseason to be better than what it has been each of the past 2 years, what do you think this group needs to improve the most?
I think for us, the margins, the little things, up 7, loss. You know, we start the half off last game for about 3.5, 4 minutes. They're a better basketball team, or maybe not second half. Sorry, second quarter. I could be getting it wrong. Excuse me. I got that slip. We're not the basketball team we were to be up 20 for those 4 minutes and then come back. Like I said to you, the lazy switch that I had on Halliburton, the miscommunication on the wing, those 2 threes, those 6 points right there. Like I said, I got a steal. I tried to go behind my back. That's another possession going that way. Missing the free throws, missing the easy layup. Obviously, can't dunk the ball because I'm hurt, but probably going a little bit faster to make a layup. Like the little things, that's like probably 10, 12 points I've probably given to you right there in this game alone. You know what I mean? So those are like in the playoffs, man. It's like every little thing, a free throw box up, you know, different. Like it's just so many little things, and that's part of it, man. Like I said, these guys have been to the conference finals. They understand, you know. Not to say we don't, but they understand, like, you know, the little things, and they capitalize off of our mistakes. You give them credit, but you also look at ourselves and like, hey, we can be better in those situations, and you know, we weren't. That's why we're here.
Are those little things that can be improved in the regular season, or are those little things that you have to wait until next postseason to be able to improve upon?
I think it's both. I think, you know, instead of losing 3 in a row, or did we lose 4 in a row during that stretch? Instead of losing 4 in a row, it's 2. You know, you look at a team like Boston, they're a championship team. I don't think they've lost 3 straight games in how long? Like there was a stat, like they haven't lost 3 straight games in a long time. Like that's a championship switch. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I may be getting that wrong, but I saw it somewhere. Somebody said something about it. Like it's a championship level switch. You know what I mean? They just understanding, you know, throughout the season, it's going to be little things. You know, if the team goes on a 12-0 run, you know, it's not 12, it's 6. You know what I mean? Like that's, you know, those are the little things, and it just, we weren't able to do it during this postseason, and for us to get there, that's what it's going to take.
Donovan, compared to the Utah team that was top-seeded 4 years ago, where do you feel like this team is at compared to maybe that one coming off of this?
Well, we're younger. It's always great. You know, I got Joe Ingles' old ass over here. No, I'm kidding. No, I think I've said this all year, like, you know, Evan Mobley. Everybody ask me what's the difference between Evan Mobley. Like, he's continuing to grow. And I think he's a guy that, you know, next year coming in is going to be even more important, even more crucial. Trying to get him to be even more aggressive. And that just takes time. Like, that's something that, you know, when I was his age, it takes time. You have to continue to, you know, find a way. And I'm not putting this on him as a whole at all, but I think, you know, I can be better, DG can be better, Jay can be better, but the difference is we have a guy who is all NBA level talent, top 5 player in the league one day, and he's continuing to grow into being that. And we, as a group, need to, as a whole, be better. But and he takes this upon himself to take that challenge. He said it to me last night. He's locked in and ready for it. And not to say he wasn't ready for it this year. He's been phenomenal. He's been everything we've asked of him since he got drafted. But people always ask me, what's the difference between the two teams? And I say, that dude right there, going to be the best player on this team. He's going to continue to take that step. It's just unfortunate that as a group we weren't able to do it, but you know, we all continue to elevate. He's going to continue to elevate, and you're going to be seeing him on every poster, on everything all over, because he said it himself, it's going to be him and Victor. And I believe that, and he believes that, and we believe that. And like I said, we'll do what we need to do as well, and grow from there.
You've used the word response so many times, talking about runs, talking about bouncing back from losses, having a full offseason. How do you expect this team as a whole to respond to what just happened?
A fire, a hunger. But in all honesty, it won't matter till April. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think we know that. You know what I mean? I think I've been saying it. I think, you know, but I think we know that. We feel that. Like I said, y'all gonna write us off. We could go 82-0. No one would care. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think just the fire, the winning in the margins, the little things. I have no doubt that, you know, guys will use this as fuel, because I know everybody in this locker room. I know what their makeup is, and go from there.
Hey, Don, why do you take so much responsibility on your shoulders for the loss, and it seems like everything?
I feel like I'm always a guy who feels like I could have done something better, and I think as a leader, you know, there's so many different ways you can point to. You can point to the points. You can point to, like, you know, the rebounds, the assists, the leadership. Like, there's so many things you can point to. But ultimately, as being the guy, you know, with the success, you guys look at me. With the failures, you should look at me as well. Like, you know what I mean? That's part of my job. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like with this group, yeah, there's 18 guys out there, but, you know, at the end of the day, they all look to me, because that's my job. And, you know, they hate that I do it. They wish I didn't put all the blame on myself. My mom, for sure, hates it. She wishes I was a little lighter on myself. But I don't know any other way. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's, you know, it's my job to be the leader of this group. And not to say we don't hold each other accountable in the locker room, behind closed doors, and in the huddles. We do, and you know, it's not just a one-man show up here, because it's not. We didn't get here because of just Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? We're not here because of just Donovan Mitchell. But I also feel like, no disrespect to you guys in the room, some of you guys do an unfair job of scrutinizing guys who aren't necessarily deserving of the scrutiny that they get. The guys go through a lot of things that people don't speak on, or don't have the opportunity to speak in front of you guys every day and talk about it. You know what I mean? I'm probably the most visual, like in front of you guys the most. So I feel like, you know, as a leader, that's what my job is.
Kenny mentioned last night that one of the next steps for you guys is mental resilience. What does that look like, that next step for you guys?
Yeah, kind of what I was saying to Danny is, like, it's the little things. Like, you know, you don't go on a 12-0 run. You don't give up 12. It's 6. Like, you know, you don't go 6 minutes without scoring. It's 3. You know, you don't lose 4 in a row towards the end of the season when you're trying to secure a playoff spot. You know what I mean? Like, you figure those things out. So then, you know, you can basically be like, all right, I'm preparing myself to when we are up 7, you know. Yeah, I'm cramping, I can't move, but get open, Don. You know, get the ball. Don't elbow Neesmith in the face. Box out the free throw line. You know what I mean? Or, you know, we are up against Miami. We take care of business. Great. Be ready for game 1, fellas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's be ready. We took care of game 3. Let's be ready for game 4. Like, you know what I mean? So That's ultimately what it is. But a lot of it too, sometimes it's just you have to have that hurt. It's unfortunate that some guys have had it longer than others. You know what I mean? It's the nature of what our roster is. We have young guys, we have old guys, and sometimes that's what playoff spirit experience is. And you saw that. Miles Turner's been playing for the Pacers since Bron was there. You know what I mean? And I'm not making that as an excuse in any way, shape, or form. But like, Miles Turner's hungry. You saw him putting the Indiana, like he's hungry for that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, it's hard. You know what I mean? And not to say we're not hungry, but like, there's years of losing to LeBron James. That does a lot to you. Like, in respect to them and respect to him. Like, when, like I said to Serena, when we get to where we want to get to, it's going to be because of moments like this where we're like sitting here like, damn, again. You know what I mean? Like that's part of the process.
Yeah. So this ended abruptly, and you guys probably weren't expecting to be in this position right now. But for you as a leader of this team, as you and the guys head out of this building into the off season, is there something specifically you want each guy to take with them?
The embarrassment. I hope we all feel it, and I think we do. Like, 64-win season. We were slated to be up here. We lost 4-1. We were the favorite. We were in the 1 seed. It's not like we were an 8 seed trying to be the 1 seed. Like, we should feel that. You know what I mean? And that's what I said to the guys in the locker room. Feel this. Embrace it. Like, this is part of it. Don't run from this. Well, not to say we aren't, we will, but like, yeah, it's gonna be a loud summer. It's gonna be a lot of voices about what the Cavs are, what the Cavs should. It's gonna be a loud summer. I've been through a few of those. You know what I'm saying? So use it as fuel, because it's the only thing you can do. Show up to work every day, show up to the gym, and keep going, keep going. And I have no doubt everybody will, because everybody's, we're a collective group, we're a connected group, we're a group that really wants it, and I have no doubt that we'll use this.
Ashley, Donovan, you said you hadn't slept. You've watched that game twice already. You said it's going to be a loud summer. You're already talking about criticism when it comes to you. How do you just take the time to just turn your brain off and just mentally just decompress and kind of shut everything out, even though you know there's going to be a lot of loudness around you? How do you do that? Or have you learned how to do that?
You're gonna laugh at this. I mean, I'm going on tour,
Okay.
so I get to listen to some good music and take some time and enjoy life, and then get back to what I've been telling y'all. But yeah, I mean, I still have a life, like, you know what I mean? I still get to enjoy it, like you said, but yeah, I'm going on tour, listen to some good music, and then get back in the gym.
What's that tour?
Just good music. Good music.
John, last question.
Donovan, as you can, see everyone talking about everything.
I haven't watched this in a minute, too. I probably, yeah. All right, you're good.
When you go throughout the summer and we all reflect on what happened, do you think this team is still constructed to take that next step the way you guys are built currently?
Yeah, I was waiting for that question. Yeah, I think so. I think we have a group that, you look at, and I'm not going to say it's a direct comparison, but I used them as an example in the past. I'm going to do it again. It took Boston 7 years. You know what I mean? It took him 7 years with the core, I should say, at least. It took him 7 years to finally, get there. This is, takes time. And obviously, yeah, there's different tax scenarios and all those different things that come into it. That's not my job. But however, we have taken a step. We have taken a step. I'm not a moral victory person, but we have improved in different facets. Maybe not in the ways that we all thought we were going to just go, but we have improved. So I believe in everybody in this locker room, like I said last night. We believe in each other, and we believe we have what it takes, but I'm sorry, I keep saying it to you, but we got to go out there and prove it at some point. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I believe what we have, for sure.